If you're not using custom Ableton key commands, keep watching.
This is a quick Ableton tip.
Hello, my name is Jordan Pastorino, and welcome back to another installment of Quick Ableton Tips. Today, what we are going to be talking about is custom key commands, or custom app shortcuts as they're known. Now, in Ableton, we have something that we can do that's sort of in this lane, but isn't exactly what I'm speaking on here. And what I'm referring to is the key map. The key map is really useful in Ableton because what it allows you to do is map certain keys on your keyboard to basically anything that shows up in this highlighted orange that we see all around the session. Now, this can be really handy, but there's two drawbacks from using the key map. The first one is that if you create a key map inside your session, that key map is only going to apply to that session, unless it's included in the default that you use for your Ableton sessions when you load Ableton up, or if it's as a part of a template or something like that, that key map will only apply to the session that you're in. The other thing that key maps don't allow you to do is map shortcuts or map keys to any of the menu items that you see here in either create, file, whatever. Any of the drop-down menus you effectively cannot use a key map for. So what I prefer to do is use app shortcuts or custom key commands. The ones that I find I use a lot are things like freeze and flatten, collect all and save. And so thusly, I have created custom key commands for each one of those. So I've got a little track going here, sounds like this. Yeah, just a little drum track, a little bass track. And so say I wanted to freeze this bass. So normally you would go right click, go down to freeze, blah, blah, blah. But instead I have my key command, boom, frozen. Say I wanted to flatten it, boom, flattened. So much faster using key commands or custom app shortcuts than it is to dive through menus, right? So how do we do that? The way we're going to do it is, and I apologize in advance, this is only applicable for Apple people or iOS users. Windows people are going to be left out on this one, so I apologize. What we're going to do is go to our Apple menu and scroll down to System Settings. When you get to System Settings, you're going to scroll all the way down to Keyboard. Now, Keyboard might be in a different place depending on what iOS you're using, but just get yourself to Keyboard, find Keyboard somewhere. And once you're there, we're going to click on Keyboard Shortcuts. This is going to bring up this Keyboard Shortcuts pane, and we're going to go all the way down to App Shortcuts. And you can see here I've got a lane inside my App Shortcuts for Ableton Live 11 Suite, and if we expand that, we can see all of the different functions that I've created custom app shortcuts for. So what I thought we could do today is make a shortcut for something I don't yet have one for, right? So going through my drop downs here, I noticed that I don't have one for my file manager. And that's one that I don't use a lot, but I use it fairly regularly. So for instance, if files get unlinked from a session, or I have to create a pack for someone that I'm sending a session to, I'm usually poking around in here a lot. So better to have a key command for it or an app shortcut for it than having to go to View, File Manager, right? Like I hate clicking around and stuff. So the crucial thing about creating an app shortcut though is that you need to spell the function that you're creating the shortcut for exactly the same way that it appears in the session. So if we go back over to our system settings in our custom app shortcuts, I'm going to create a new one for Ableton Live 11 Suite. So we're going to select the application, Ableton Live 11 Suite. The menu title was File Manager. Both words capitalized. There we go. And I'm going to pick a shift layer or key command layer that I can use to create the key command. Now, a really common one in Pro Tools land is what's known as the power claw, I think it's called, which is holding down Control, Option, and Command. And I'm just going to pick a letter at random. Let's say M for manager. And I'm going to hit done. Now, if we go back over to Ableton, if I use that key command, it should expose my file manager. There it is. So I highly recommend you use custom key commands. They're very easy to make and they will save you a boatload of time. Anyway, my name's Jordan. Thank you so much for sticking around and watching this. If you enjoyed the video, please consider liking, subscribing, and clicking the notification bell so you can be notified when more videos like this come out. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.